What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Acts of Creation. And in this week's video, we're gonna have a little fun. We're gonna try to recreate Jones's tone using only pedals. Now, I know that Jones's live rig is massive and extensive and very difficult to replicate, right? It's not one of the easier rigs to replicate. You know, you can't just go to the store and buy this amp and, oh, there you go. He's using multiple heads, a diesel head, you know, a slew of pedals, he's got a foot synth, and the everyday guitar player is not going to be able to recreate that. But fortunately, modern guitar technology has taken us very far in the modern day, and we're going to try to knock it out of the ballpark with using two pedals. I have the Rev G3, which is modeled after the purple channel on the Rev 120 and 100P, I believe, and then we're also sitting down with the Two Notes Cab M, all right? And if you're unsure what the Cab M is essentially it's a pedal version of the Torpedo Live, the rack mount version, and it gives you not only your cabinet IRs, but it also gives you power amp emulation, and you can change the tubes and you can really get into it. But for simplicity's sake, that's what we're doing. So I'm running the G3 as essentially a preamp pedal right into the Cab M, which is giving me everything else. And that's all we're playing with today. So let's see how it sounds. Nice, not bad. I mean, that sounds pretty awesome if you ask me. Sweet. Now what I really like about this little setup right here is not only can you record with it and get great tones with it, but I can plug headphones in it and just practice with it. I can even go down to my local music venue and play a gig with just these two pedals. And that's amazing, right, in this day of age. So let's talk about it a little bit. So I wanted to keep it stock for the most part, because at least on the IR section, because I want, you know, if you guys have this pedal, just plug and play, and I don't want you to have to go out and get third-party stuff. I'm using a preset that came on the Cab M, but I did change out the cabinet for one of the orange cabinets that Two Notes just released. I'm using the 412, the PBC, that's a mouthful, the PPC 412 with vintage 30s. It sounds really good. It's extremely mid-rangey, and you'll hear that in a second because the settings I have on the pedal probably wouldn't emulate what I would go to on an amp per se, depending on the characteristics of the amp. And I have a past video where I go through an amp and we talk about the effects and how to kind of dial in the distortion, what good starting point to get in there at, and very opposite of what I ended up here. So I'm gonna roll back the mids. I'm gonna put everything back at unity so you can hear where we are and then how I went from there. So this is where we are at unity on all the EQs. Right? So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to bump up the treble, you know, and I'm going to aim for it. I want that to be nice cloud. Nice clouds today, guys. I want that to be nice and clear, loud, and present. Because Jones uses that sound a lot. So I'm going to crank that up probably about 2, 3 o'clock. Kind of brings that to life a little bit. And then here, it's like I said before, it's a little mid-rangey. So depending on what you have going on, that you might need that to cut through. But since I'm just isolating guitar tracks here, I want a little less mid-range. And we don't want full out, you know, scooped here. All right, we're not playing Godsmack. So right before on this is 9 o'clock. That gives me a good. Nice tone there. I'm really happy with that. I would go play live with this, just this, and I would be very happy with it. Obviously, you need some effects with it, but what's really nice about the Rev 3 is you have this aggression pedal, and when you listen to the older stuff, right, the earlier albums, they don't have an aggressive, the guitars don't seem as aggressive, right? So I can just put this off, and that puts me right in that older type vein, right? We got. Love it, or. And then once we kick on that aggression, it gets a little more tighter, a little more thicker. Kind of brings everything up, which fits really nice. I can go down the other way, but then it gets super saturated, and that's really not the tone we're going after, because we don't really want a super contemporary metal tone. He doesn't play with face-melting gain, per se. You know, spot on. Even the lead tones, you can bust up your middle, raise up your middle a little bit, and maybe even boost your trebs and maybe a little more distortion. With the leads. Right, play a little hooker. I don't know, guys, this is pretty awesome. I think it sounds pretty good. I mean, we're right on here with a lot of tones and a lot of riffs. Nice job. Awesome. So there you go. Getting Adam Jones's tone using only pedals. Gets really close, right? You got the Rev G3, we have the 2 notes cab M. I have the G4 sitting over there, and I can definitely probably do the same exact thing, but I like purple. And I dug the sound a lot, and I hope you guys dig it too, all right? So, as always, let me know what you come up with. Until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.